Hello, and in today's lesson, I'm going to share with you my top 5 YouTube English teachers that you should be following in 2021. But that's not all. They've all agreed to join me in this video and share with you their number 1 piece of advice for improving your spoken English this year. God, this is gonna be a good one. Hello and welcome to English with Greg. If you're new here, this channel helps you speak advanced English and master English conversation. And I do this by giving you advanced British pronunciation, grammar and vocabulary lessons every Friday. So YouTube is a great place to learn English. There are more and more English teachers teaching this way, and that's why I wanted to do a video to give you my top 5. If you want to let me know your favorite English teachers on YouTube, let me know in the comments. And of course, read other people's comments to see their favorites too. Okay, so before we speak to the first teacher, I quickly want to tell you why I've chosen these teachers. First, they are consistent with their videos and they have been consistent for a long time. Secondly, they're well-produced videos, which, well, makes it easier to watch. Third, they produce useful content that is really going to help you improve your English grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary. And finally, their personality. I think it's very important to learn with a teacher who you like and who you enjoy watching. So, in no particular order, first we're going to speak to Vanessa from Speak English with Vanessa. Now, as I said, I think a good teacher has to be a happy person with positive energy, somebody who, when you are in class with them, they make you feel happy. That is such a good atmosphere for learning. And Vanessa is one of the happiest teachers on YouTube. She has a lovely personality and a great way of teaching. And she produces really valuable content. She also lets you inside her life a little bit, which I really love. You can see her with her husband, with her kids. So let's speak to Vanessa and hear her piece of advice to help you improve your English. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa from the YouTube channel Speak English with Vanessa, and my tip for you for improving your English in 2021 is to use YouTube and make sure that with every English lesson that you watch, you write a comment. It's essential to use what you've learned. So if you learn a new idiom, a new grammatical structure, a new pronunciation tip, some new vocabulary, write a comment using that. And this is a way to publicly use what you've learned. It also gives some wonderful feedback to the teacher to help them know that this was a useful lesson, but it is great for you because you are instantly using what you've learned. So, what's your homework? Make sure that on this lesson you write a comment using some of the tips that you've learned. You've got this.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, and thanks for your advice. So, you heard her. After you've watched this video, leave a comment. Okay, number 2 is Keenan from Clear English Corner. Keenan focuses mainly on American pronunciation, and I'm a real pronunciation geek. I love pronunciation, and that's actually how I found Keenan. She has got some fantastic material on stress and intonation and the rhythm of the language, which I think is so important and something that not a lot of teachers teach. Her tone is so clear and calm and just provides a really great atmosphere for learning. So Keenan, hello, and what's your tip for improving your spoken English this year?
Hey there, Greg, and thanks so much for including me in this group of super talented teachers. My tip for improving your spoken English this year has 3 parts. First, focus on clarity. With English now serving as a global language that unites us across cultures, being able to be understood in English by a variety of different listeners from various backgrounds is super important. And the first step to improving clarity is to learn about the rhythm of English, learning to hear what is stressed or emphasized inside words and sentences versus what isn't. Second, celebrate progress instead of striving for perfection. Refining your pronunciation is a journey, and it takes time. There's a lot of little milestones to celebrate along the way. Recognizing your achievements keeps you motivated to continue towards your goal. And finally, I encourage a little mindset shift regarding pronunciation training. Refining your pronunciation isn't about getting rid of your accent. We all have accents. There's nothing wrong with your accent. It's part of who you are, your history, and your heritage. When you learn about pronunciation, you're adding a new set of skills, acquiring a new way of speaking that you can use when it serves you and that you can set aside when it doesn't. Approaching pronunciation training with this mindset keeps the whole experience a lot more relaxed and a lot more fun. All right, I hope these tips are helpful to you, my friends. Thanks again for having me, Greg.
Thanks, Keenan. They are great tips. And yes, people often confuse accent with pronunciation. Everybody has an accent. What's important is that your pronunciation is clear and accurate and easy to understand. Okay, the next teacher on my list is Wes from Interactive English. Now, one thing I really like about Interactive English is that they often include short clips from television programs or movies, so you can hear what they're teaching as it's being used by real native speakers in real fast context. And I think that's a really great addition to the videos. Wes teaches you grammar, pronunciation and vocabulary, but also topical subjects like the US elections or Halloween, Thanksgiving, etc. So, hello Wes, and what is your tip to improve your English this year?
Hey everyone, so the advice that I would like to share with all of you for 2021 about how you can improve your English the most is to make time and not excuses. Now, this is probably one of the easiest things that people can do, but at the same time, it's also one of the most difficult things for a learner to do, mostly because people, they just don't end up doing it. They don't end up making time, and when that happens, they start making excuses like, well, I'm just too busy or I'm too tired. But you really need to dedicate some time for your learning. And that really goes for anything that you want to improve or anything you want to do. If you're trying to learn how to play a musical instrument, or you're trying to do more exercise, or in your case, if you're trying to improve your English skills. You just need to think about what time that you can schedule, that you can dedicate to learning. This is really the first step that you need to take. And I say it's the first step because once you do this, once you make some time for your learning, then you can start thinking about how you're going to fill that time. If you're going to watch an online lesson on YouTube, or perhaps you're going to take some online classes. The very first thing you need to do is actually make time for your learning. And that, I think, is the most important thing that I think you can do so that you can improve your English in 2021 and reach your fluency goals.
Thanks, Wes. Yes, it's always too easy to make excuses and to say, oh, I need to improve my English this year. Make time, even if it's 5 minutes every day, just make time to dedicate to English so you can reach your fluency goals. Thank you for that, Wes. Okay, my next teacher is Shayna from Espresso English. I've been following Shayna for years now, and I'm not even learning English. But she's got a great YouTube channel, a great website, a great blog, and her videos are really, really useful. Her voice, her explanations, her examples are all so clear that it is a fantastic channel to follow. At the time of recording, she has just passed 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So congratulations for that, Shayna. Welcome to the channel, and what's your piece of advice?
Hi, I'm Shayna from EspressoEnglish.net, and my top tip for speaking better is to learn how to think directly in English. So don't think in your native language and then try to translate quickly in your head into English. That takes too long, and then you'll end up speaking with lots of pauses and you'll hesitate. Instead, if you learn how to think directly in English, then you'll be able to speak a lot more quickly and naturally. Now, you might think that this sounds very difficult or that it's only something for advanced students, but that's not true. thinking directly in English is a skill that you can develop when you practice. So start simple. Start by just thinking about individual English words as you go about your day. Look at a table and think table. Look at a pencil and think pencil. All right, directly in English without translating. Then you can progress to short phrases, and then you can move on to thinking in longer sentences. All right, so what's great is that you can do this anytime. You don't need to be in English class. You don't need to be sitting down for a study session. You can just practice thinking directly in English throughout your day. And when you practice this, you'll get into the habit of thinking directly in English. And then when you speak English, it will be a lot easier for the English words to come to your mind. It will be a lot easier to put together phrases and sentences. And your speaking will just be a lot more fluid and natural. So I hope you put this into practice and see a great improvement in your speaking.
Thank you for that, Shane, and I highly recommend you do that. I've learned 3 foreign languages, and once you get into that mindset, it's so much easier. And you think, why was I working in 2 languages before? Think in English, and you're only using 1 language in your brain. It's so much easier. Great advice, Shayna. Thank you for that. Okay, finally, another British English teacher. They've all been American so far for no particular reason. But number 5 is Jack from the YouTube channel To Fluency. Now, at the moment, most of Jack's lessons are live. I love doing live videos, and a lot of other teachers do that too. It's a great way to connect with the students closer. But very few live lessons have the almost professional quality that Jack's have. The content he produces will help you with your grammar and vocabulary, but he also gives you tips regarding mindset and techniques to learn English and motivation. So let's hear Jack's piece of advice. Hello, Jack.
Thanks, Greg. Now, my tip is really going to focus on improving the way that you speak English. And it's not just going to help you with your pronunciation, but it's going to help you with your fluency in your grammar and your vocabulary too. Now, it's called the LRRC method or the imitation method. And what you do is you find audio from English speakers, you listen to a phrase, okay, so you pause it after a phrase, you repeat that phrase, but as you repeat it, you record it. Now, you can do this on your phone. Then you compare your version to the original version. And then you'll notice the mistakes you're making or the areas that you need to improve so that you sound more like the original audio. So this might be the sounds of English, relaxed pronunciation or linking words. It could be the intonation, the rhythm or the stress. But what we're doing is we're focusing on trying to be as accurate as possible here, to sound as close as we can to the original audio. And then, in order to take this a little bit further, once you have done that and you feel, okay, I sound like the original or very close to the original or close enough, then you take this phrase and you repeat it tomorrow, 4 days, in 8 days, in 16 days, so that you internalize these phrases and you learn the vocabulary and grammar in a more natural way. So try this out. Just take any audio phrase that you like, repeat it, record it, and compare to the original, and then start putting it into a system so that you can get more repetition with this to then internalize the phrases too.
That is great advice. Thank you so much, Jack. I really appreciate your time and the time of all the teachers on today's video. So the links to the best YouTube English teachers are all in the description. I also publish videos every Friday. I help you speak advanced English, so be sure to subscribe to my channel too. If you want to learn what level of English you have right now, watch that video. And if you want to learn some fun British English expressions with me, then click that video there and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll be in touch on Friday with another lesson to help you speak advanced English. Bye for now.